Hello, everyone. Welcome to Oaky's LinkedIn Live session on the launch of our new upselling course. We're going to give it another 2 to 3 minutes for more people to join us, and then we will start the session. So please just give it another 2 minutes. Great. We already have over 30 people, so it looks like we can start on time. Hello, everyone. Thanks again for joining us. I'm Vijesh, the head of Asia Pacific here at Oaky. I'll be moderating today's LinkedIn Live session where you'll be hearing from our Oaky instructors who passionately dedicated their time to develop our latest upselling course. It's called Upselling in Depth. We'll also be hearing from a hotelier who has tried our course and has feedback on how he plans to use Oaky's courses within his hotel group. At Oaky, as you know, we live and breathe upselling on a daily basis, and we spend valuable time monitoring and analyzing the various aspects that come together to create the best upselling programs. This is so that our customers, the hotels and resorts that use Oaky, and get the best results, whether it be more room upgrades, increased sales of ancillary services, or enhanced customer experience for their guests and greater engagement with them, can really get the value of our time and our experiences. And now we have released a series of courses that share all of our hard-learned insights with you. These courses are intended to add value across various teams within a hotel, as long as you're contributing to the hotel's revenue or guest experience. From decision makers to executives, everyone will get value from these courses, as well as students interested in the hospitality field. In course one, the fundamentals of upselling, which was released earlier this year, this is a completely free course. And to date, we already have 500 certified students, which we're very excited about. This program is aimed at setting a solid foundation to any hotel's upselling program. But that does not mean that it's a very basic level program. We really deep dive into upselling early on, highlighting the specifics of good and bad upselling practices, the guest perspective and its importance on your upselling strategy, as well as total revenue management, a concept that's targeted to capture all the untapped revenue and profit potential that's associated usually with a hotel's non-room revenue generating centers. We've received some great feedback on this course so far, and completing it will get you the Upselling Associate certification from Oaky. In course two, and that's what we're here to launch today. We're extremely pleased to announce the launch of this new course. And completing this paid course takes you to the next level of your upselling journey and to an upselling professional certification. And to talk a little bit more about this today, we're actually going to hear directly from our course instructors on some of the new topics that this course comprises, as well as what skills you can look forward to learning from this upselling in-depth course. And joining us today, we will have Eric, Mattia, Carmen, and Marika. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. So we'll begin with Marika, our head of marketing. You lead the module on the digital experience, which focuses very much on marketing and branding. Why would this topic be important for upselling, which is often seen as relevant to just the revenue or front office teams?
Well, if you know our audience a little bit, like we have a lot of revenue managers following Oaky as well. And you can have great segmentation, you can have great timing and a great operational train behind an upsell. But the content has to be great at the first place. To give you an example, I want to share an example of the course actually. And that is that my friend Lisa saw running shoes online and she really liked them, but she wanted to try them first in store. When she was in store, she liked the experience and the service so much that she was willing to pay a little bit of extra money and buy them right on the spot. Well, this exact same thing happens online as well. So if you proactively guide your guests to a platform that has great imagery, a kind tone of voice, and a design that you can appreciate, they're willing to stay and browse what you have to offer.
That's so true, Marika. Will this be covered in the course?
Yes. In this course, we will actually look at the things you can influence to the indirectly influence or have an impact on the conversion and their buying behavior.
That's such a good point. The ability to positively influence buying behavior is such a powerful skill for everyone to have in selling or upselling, which pretty much covers any guest-facing role really well. And this brings us to our next point, and Carmen, a manager in our Rockstar Customer Success team. Carmen, you're an instructor on hyper-personalization. What is this, and how can hoteliers leverage this to influence their customers' behavior?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Vijesh, for the question. I will jump straight into it by saying that hyper-personalization bridges the gap between the content offerings and the overall customer experience at the customer segment level to an individual level. So it goes one level deeper. How can this be explained in terms of upselling? Well, in practice, you as a hotelier probably already segmented the market that you're currently performing in, and you have come up with a certain customer segment or more than one that you want to target. So it can either be business, leisure, groups, or individuals. Then you start creating an experience around this customer segment. So then you know it's appropriate for that targeted audience. This is called personalization. In order to hyper-personalize the experience, you need to go one level deeper, and then you start looking at each individual that is part of that customer segment. How do you do that? Well, you look across all the touch points of the customer journey, and you gather the data from each individual. Based on that knowledge that you have, you start building a marketing strategy and an upselling strategy that is tailored to a certain individual. You might be wondering why this is important. Well, I think roughly 80 to 90% of customers find personalized adverts more appealing. Therefore, they're more inclined to purchase a service that is personalized to their needs. In the upselling course, in the module that I'm presenting within the upselling course, I am talking about how you can use hyper-personalization in order to create an effective strategy, which will bring you higher conversion rates, as well as maximize the customer engagement.
That's great, Carmen. 80 to 90% being more inclined to make a purchase is definitely a very impressive metric. And now we'll hear from our most experienced account executive in the Oaky sales team. Mattia, there are hotels who are completely new to upselling and others that have been upselling for quite some time already, but are still looking for ways to improve. What's the best way for both types of hotels to roll out an ultra-effective upselling program?
Hello, everyone, and thanks, Vijesh, for the intro. Yes, One Hoteliers have got the fundamentals right, and I think our first module tells a lot about that. Scaling the upsell program is really one of the questions we always receive, and I guess this goes down to a few tactics that the hotel can implement. One is involving more teams. Let's say marketing or operations is not a one-man job. The second, maybe it's automation, which is definitely key, especially in these times. We hear a lot about this. Something we're very passionate about at Oaky is testing. We never do it enough, right? We could experiment on pictures, titles, content. Really, every element which is part of the offer can be tested. And then we know that for revenue managers, it's key to manage pricing very well. So what about having a static or dynamic pricing? Maybe we want to apply a percentage over a bar rate, and there's a lot we can talk about it. So this all comes together in the lesson that I teach in this course, together with also what are the main let's say, pillars to choose a good technology that can help you drive and scale your upselling program. And there's also a bonus in the course. You'll have a guideline of how you can hold a meeting about upselling with your team. So good luck and enjoy the course.
That's great. You've covered several very great points there, Mattia, testing and all of that. But I love the last tip. Start upselling meetings. Its impact on your results will be really worth the effort. And now we also, of course, have Eric, the man who needs no introduction. It's very exciting for us that you, as co-founder, have personally developed one of the modules in this course. Why do you think it's important for hoteliers to seamlessly integrate upselling throughout the customer's journey, Eric?
Thank you, Vijesh, and good morning, everybody. Super, super happy to be here. Yeah, it's like when we think about upselling, we really look at it like the extension of kind of the offline service and experience you would normally have inside of the hotel during the stay to a digital experience you would have throughout the guest journey. And we, of course, started as a pre-arrival upsell solution, but have figured out over time that it's very clear that guest needs change very greatly depending on where they are in the customer journey. And me having worked so much with partnerships as co-founder at Oaky, I've seen firsthand that there are so many great partners and tech providers out there in the industry that provide a lot of opportunity for hoteliers to also offer a superb digital experience, being on the right channel at the right time with the right offer, depending on the stage of the customer journey. So what I'm talking about in this exciting course is we're covering 5 steps of the customer journey, all the way from booking to post-checkout and hopefully arrival again. And we're basically looking at everything from the lens of the guest. What are the needs of my guests at every single stage? And what are the priorities from me as a hotel? And when you match the needs of the guest with the priorities of the hotel, you can identify items to upsell that is just perfect. That really creates this win-win scenario. And last but not least, we're looking at a very interesting aspect you can look at when you do digital upselling, which is proactive versus reactive upselling. And proactive upselling is basically when you as a hotelier reach out to guests with a message that you think is personalized to them at the right time, trying to fulfill a need. And then reactive upselling, where you use technology to say, okay, a guest is, for example, asking me a question. How can I turn that question into a transaction? So a reactive approach instead. So a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun making this lesson, and I hope it will be very valuable to everyone watching.
That's great, Eric. And proactive and reactive upselling, that really does help one think about seamlessly really integrating upselling throughout the customer's journey, because every guest faces both of these options as well. Great. Thanks, everyone. And a big thanks to the Oaky instructors for joining us so far. But right now, Eric and I would like to welcome Johan from Elite Hotels of Sweden, an upscale hotel chain in Sweden, and also a long-term customer of Oaky. Hi, Johan.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us. I believe
Thank you very
this is
much.
your latest hotel. Could you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, so I'm quite excited to be here, obviously, and really happy that you're having me here. The picture that you see is our latest addition to our hotel portfolio. It's called the Wood Hotel. Will be located in the north of Sweden, in Skellefteå. I think the most exciting thing about this building is that it.
I think you froze there.
Built completely out of wood and making it the largest hotel built in wood. Entire energy source for the hotel would be made out of sustainable energy, and it will be 84 meters tall, house 205 guest rooms, and a huge conference of 2,500 people. So it's
wow.
That's amazing, Johan. We do seem to have a little bit of a connection issue with him. But if I heard correctly, Eric, I think Johan mentioned that it's the tallest wooden hotel in the world, right?
Yeah, in Northern Europe, I believe.
That's fantastic. I think we'll just give them a minute to sort out the
problem. Yeah, let's do that. Now Johan is back. Hey, Johan. Now we can hear you again. We can see you again.
You can hear me? Hi again.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
Where did I cut off?
No, you just finished explaining about the beautiful project. So we covered it for you for the bits and pieces we couldn't hear, but now we hear you perfectly.
Fantastic.
You're back for good now. That is an amazing hotel project, and all the best on the opening for you and your team. We do have a few questions for you. So we were very pleased to hear that you've actually completed Oaky's first upselling course. What are your thoughts on the program, and do you have any key takeaways from it yourself?
I think it was a great experience for myself to complete it, and it highlights the importance for both staff and for management, the importance of selling, upselling, and cross-selling, and I think it would help the employees to understand that in the business that we're in, every penny counts, and that it will help contribute to a greater total revenue. And then on the other hand, it also really proves the point to the management that a system, both technological and educational, is really important to be able to do this. And I think my key takeaway would be that service and sales, when put together in the proper way, is absolutely the best way to drive a total revenue.
Thank you. That's true, and great to hear. Did you have time to look at course 2 yet? And do you have a module that you would say that you're really looking forward to with upselling in depth, our new course?
In the course that I finalized, I think the total the upselling in depth and also the way that revenue management have evolved from just sort of looking at rooms to a more overall aspect where everyone is trying to use the same principles and same format and try to implement it in restaurants and spas and so on. I think that was a really interesting part, and I'm looking forward to see more of that in coming courses.
You've also shared some exciting plans with us on how you plan to include our course into the onboarding program in your team. Could you share with us your reason for this decision, as well as how you plan to roll that out?
Yeah, as I mentioned, I think the course demonstrates in a good way the importance of sales, and I see a possibility to create a mentality that when the opportunity presents itself, we should always try to sell something to the guest. Because it improves both the guest satisfaction and obviously the increased revenue. And the reason why I think it's so important is to implement this in an early stage in the employees' sort of journey within the company. And right now, we've just launched a new platform for pre and onboarding. And we are planning on incorporating this in the onboarding process so that the team members will have this with them from day one and understand that this is what we're all working for and try to make the guest as happy as possible by selling them items and rooms that will help enhance their stay. So I think that's the main reason and really how we will implement it. So the online course is something that they will have to complete before or in the beginning of their employment with us.
That's great, Johan. Thank you for sharing. I feel like that also sounds like a great plan for any hotel that might have had to cut back on their teams in this current climate. But then now that they're seeing a pickup in demand up ahead, then using a course like ours would actually really help in reducing the onboarding time and getting the new teams up to speed as well. So it's really great to hear that you guys also have plans to include it in your onboarding. Yep, thank you very much for your time. It was a pleasure to have you join us. And our instructors will be very happy to hear the positive things that you had to say about our course. Thank you, Johan.
Thank you.
Well, it's definitely really great to hear that the timing of the launch of our course could not have been better, because we've had similar feedback from one of our other customers. Borja, an e-commerce specialist from Lopesan Hotel Group, which has upscale hotels in Spain and Germany, he wasn't able to join us live today, but he has shared the following quote with us. And Borja also shared that Lopesan will also be including Oaky's upsell courses as part of their group's onboarding process. And in their case, it'll be via their e-learning platform. This is because other than making onboarding efficient and scalable, they're also really keen on getting the whole team involved in upselling from day one itself. So yes, very, very pleased to hear that that's the different ways that some of our customers will be using this course. And now I'm very pleased to hand over to Eric, who has some great news to share as well.
Thank you, Vijesh. And before I do that, can I just share like a personal note? We of course we've been doing upselling 24/7, like you said. That's all we do every day. And we've amassed a lot of knowledge, but we created this upsell course as a way to help the industry create more revenue and enhance the guest experience. I don't think we ever thought that hoteliers would implement it in their onboarding programs. So we're super proud to really have Elite Hotels and Lopesan leading the way. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see many hotel groups have this implemented in the future, since the timing seems so good about it. So very, very happy about that. And without then any further ado, the last piece on our agenda is to announce the Oaky winners, because there were over 500 people that completed the first course. And we reached out to every one of them. If you shared that you completed the course, then you could win an entry to the level 2. And Alicia, Rosario, and Jasmine, we're super happy for you. Congratulations! So you will be hearing from us, and you'll receive the upsell course in depth for free. So congratulations, and thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, and for everyone, like, upselling is an art. There's a lot of facets and aspects around upselling that really requires a lot of time and effort in order to optimize and make the most out of. But you don't have to master everything yourself. You can make use of a lot of the knowledge that we've created and gathered at courses.oaky.com. The first level, as mentioned, is for free. The second one that we just launched now is only at 49 euros. There's so much value in there. Even if you're novice to upselling or you're a real master, I promise there are items in these courses that will be new to you. Hopefully a lot of aha moments. And from all of us here at Oaky, we're really, really excited and really hope you enjoy the course. Please let us know what you think. And thanks so much for joining this LinkedIn launch.